difficult from going to from small town to Harvard University, but
So when I was in the final year of college, and I think like everybody around me, I was preparing for government exams. So when you grow up in a very small village,
these kind of obligations used to hear from neighbors and relatives.
Delhi is close to Pakistan. Why are you sending your child there?
And we heard that you were joined in TVK also, ma'am. Like in the sense,
I've been interested in politics for the last 5 years. It's not now I thought about politics. I think during my intention is to contest elections, but we do not know right now. Hopefully, through the work I do, I will earn the ticket. So that is one. Because right now, I think no political party is considering giving tickets or something.
Namaste, welcome to BRK. This is Chakkarla Jhansi. Today we are going to talk about a very inspirational woman, the great woman, TED Women Orator, Young India Fellow, along with that Acumen India Fellow, GP Villa Fellow, along with that Tamil Nadu Chief Minister State Youth Awardee, founder of Bodhi Tree Foundation, Pen Collective for Women Leaders. So Ashwita ma'am is there with us. So let's talk with Ashwita ma'am. And let's talk, Ashwita ma'am, about her incredible journey coming from a rural development area, going to Harvard University and founding those kind of foundations, being inspirational to a lot of women. Not even that, she worked in a World Bank also. Along with that, now she has been entered into TVK party. So this incredible journey has been so inspirational to a lot of women. So let us ask her and how these kind of journey is possible and what kind of challenges that she has faced. So let's talk with ma'am. Namaste, Ashwita ma'am.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, Ashwita ma'am, like you're so inspiration to us because coming from a rural background, going to Harvard University, and from that stage to that stage, it is not a easy step, ma'am, because for a woman, everything will be difficult in this society. So, how is your journey, ma'am? Because you came from Tirunelveli and reached to Harvard University. So, what inspired your journey from a small town to the global stage?
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and privilege to be on this show. And as you're rightly saying, I come from a very small village. My parents roll BDs. They roll handmade cigarettes. So growing up, of course, I didn't know about Harvard. I didn't really know about career opportunities. I think as like any other girl in a rural village, I was aspiring to get married and have like praying for a great husband in my life. But at the same time, I think I was really inspired by the books I read. I was going to public library from a very young age, and I was also rolling BDs. But I really believe that education is my only way out because I saw many women around me getting married at a young age. Really did not have a career, and I also did not have many role models when I was growing up. So for me, education really was the only way out. So I pursued it, and I think, and I'm very, very grateful that I get to go to Harvard. I recently graduated from Harvard Kennedy School, mid-career master's in public administration.
How did your experiences as a Young India Fellow, along with that Harvard MPA scholarship, means what took from there to there, ma'am? Because I know you told, ma'am, that it is very difficult from going to from small town to Harvard University, but what was the process and what was the hard steps that you took in your life?
Mhm. So when I was in the final year of college, and I think like everybody around me, I was preparing for government exams. So when you grow up in a very small village, the only opportunity you really think of is government jobs. So I was preparing for government jobs. At the same time, I came across this advertisement about Young India Fellowship Program in a Tamil magazine, and it was in Delhi. At that time, I didn't know where Delhi was, even how many hours and everything. So I was very fortunate to apply for the program. One of my friends gave the cell phone so I could apply. And I when I went to Young India Fellowship Program, I think my life got completely transformed because here I was from a very small town, and almost all my friends are from big cities. They had big career aspiration, they had big ambitions. So seeing them, and at 20, I couldn't speak a sentence in English. So I had to learn English. I had to learn to be part of that classroom. I think that really changed me. And I think after Young India Fellowship, I think you really kind of dream big. And I think that is how Harvard happened. I knew I wanted to go to a best university in the world, but I really did not think I will get through. But yeah, but I'm very grateful that I got to go to Harvard with a very big scholarship. Otherwise, it's very difficult for us to afford. I got a full scholarship to go to Harvard Kennedy School.
I heard your TED orator, that speech, ma'am. I heard your entire speech. That was so inspirational because you explained each and every aspects in your life in a very detailedly, and how you faced all those situations, what circumstances has come in front of you, and how you handle those situations. Everything was so well explained, ma'am, in that TED orator. So, can you explain for us, ma'am, today?
Mm-hmm. So as I mentioned in my talk, I think I was because it was a very rural life. I kind of felt I was caged. I was bottled. Like I really did not know how to go beyond the village. Everyone around me had a very similar life, and I think education really helped me. And I had to fight with my father and relatives to really go to college. I have a sister who completed 12th and then got married. So I knew that I wanted to go to college. I wanted to pursue higher education. Even when I was completing my college, I got a job, but I really knew that I wanted higher education. And once I went to Young India Fellowship, I know that rural girls like me, we are really strong. We are really we have determination. The thing which we don't have is a platform, is an access to opportunity. We don't know what opportunities that are available for us, be it government jobs, private jobs, scholarships. We don't know. So that is why I came back to my village and started this not-for-profit called Bodhi Foundation in 2014. And through Bodhi Foundation, I worked with first-generation college graduates, especially girls like me, to really tell them that they could do something bigger and they should dream beyond what their circumstances are. So I ran it for 6 years.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, you have said that your family is not that supportive because they were also in a shock, because a woman from a rural development, rural areas, that would not be so easy, because even our relatives would be, our neighbors would be stopped to us. Why you're sending that gal to there? So these kind of obligations used to hear from neighbors and relatives. How you handle those situations, ma'am?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You are absolutely right. When I first went to Delhi, one of my neighbors came and told my father, Delhi is close to Pakistan. Why are you sending your child there? And if she goes there, she would, marry somebody else. She will not be in your control. Of course, there are many, many things. I think one of the things I really felt like my parents, even though they are very restrict, even though they believe what the relatives are saying, but they still really told me, like, if you want to go that highway, you may not be getting support from us, but you need to take care of yourself. So I really felt that that was my, and I'm grateful that my parents did not stop me. They told that I have to take care of myself, which is, I believe, is fine. But I think once I got the Chief Minister's State Youth Award, once I got the recognition, I believe my parents have come around, and today I told them about my intention to be in politics full time. I think they are much more supportive now than before.
Okay,
it took us 10 years.
In generally, even though if a woman or a man, if even though they are studying in English medium, because of on a regular base, they used to talk in their own mother tongue, ma'am. So to sustain, to talk English and to maintain that, to sustain that, how it is easy to, ma'am, how you managed to do that? Because you said you learned English later on and you went from here to there. So in that journey, does any time you felt like, no, I am not able to continue this, or those kind of mindsets or those fears that have happened in your life, ma'am?
Absolutely. I think when I first went to Delhi, I remember my first class, they gave a paragraph and said, write a summary. I didn't know what summary was. So that was when I was 20 years old. And I think many of, I think I was also I was also reaching out to my faculty and professors, asking them how I can learn English faster. So they gave many tips. I think one of the tips is like think in English, watch many movies, English movies. I did all of those things, and I think eventually, end of the year, I was able to communicate. In the beginning, it was very big a struggle to even raise my hands in the class because in Young India Fellowship, half of my grades are about participating in the classroom. So if you don't participate, if you don't speak in the class, you don't get grades. So it was a very big challenging year, but I think eventually I have learned it, and I think there are many tips I got from many people who are kind enough.
We got to know that you have a foundation called Bodhi Tree Foundation. Ma'am, what inspired you to start that foundation?
Mhm. As I said, when I went to Young India Fellowship program, I looked around the class, nobody was like me. I had a long hair and I was used to putting coconut oil and then I had pins all over. Nobody looked like me, nobody spoke like me. So I knew people like me really wanted opportunity. We don't know how to seek for help. So that is, I think in a way, I was also feeling guilty of the opportunities I've got because I have a sister who really studies well, who excels in academics and everything, but still did not get the opportunity to go outside. And also, many of my friends are very talented. So I think that was kind of a guilt and also an anger in terms of why are we not getting the opportunities we deserve. And I think that inspired. And I didn't wanted to start an organization. Organization, it just happened that I went to my own college and told them, like, I want to talk to children. I want to talk to college girls about these opportunities.
And we heard that you were joined in TVK also, ma'am. Like, in the sense, the woman who went from there, it is a big step. And you got many awards, and you thought like to do help others also, and you started many foundations, and you even started a pen collective for women. So you were in all these kind of aspects, ma'am. Then how suddenly you thought to join TVK party, mostly in Tamil Nadu? So how does that step took forward?
Mhm. I've been interested in politics for the last 5 years. It's not now I thought about politics. I think during COVID, I really thought about, because I was reaching out to many people who needed, like, with whom I needed support for my kids, because they live in different villages and they needed resources. But I was reaching out to all men. So I was thinking, like, where are the women in leadership positions, not just in politics, but generally across the village. So that is when I realized I wanted to be in politics. I wanted to understand what politics means. And it's been a 5 year journey of working in a political consultancy, working with women leaders, working and starting Pen Collective with a friend of mine to encourage women to get into politics. And finally, this year, when I graduated from Harvard, I knew I wanted to join a political party. And looking around the parties which we have, I really felt TVK is the party which really support young people's aspirations and which really believe in women like me. So it was a very natural and a perfect choice for a person like.
How do you see your party's vision differing from other major political parties in Tamil Nadu? Because there will be a high, like a high, what you will say that poti in Telugu, they'll call, but there will be like so many circumstances because a woman is coming into the politics. That also the new party that is started by Vijay Dalapati Garu. So, what is the vision of this, ma'am?
Mhm. So if you take Tamil Nadu politics, it's the Dravidian parties have been there for the last 30 years. Not, no, no, not even 30 years, more than that. I'm talking about my constituency in Tirunelveli. If you take, like, it's been the same people doing the same kind of things. And I think as young people, as a young woman, I am really frustrated by the kind of politics that's been happening, right? And women are not, for example, if you take Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly, we have only 5% of women in the legislative assembly, and we are 50% of the voting population. So when you look at all of these things, and I really felt TVK is the one party which can really support and get more women into political positions. And that is one. And I also feel that the party's ideology also aligned with my own ideology, which is everything for everybody, and there is no difference in terms of caste, gender, class, and everything. And it also proposes a very, development agenda, no corruption, no divisive politics. All of that I actually inspired me to join TVK.
What is your roadmap for development in Tirunelveli constituency if you are elected as an MLA? Because we got to know that you have started a 100 days campaign, which is door to door, that
Mhm.
you will go to the people and you will ask personally. So what is the purpose of that and how does it came, ma'am?
Of course, I think any political person, my intention is to get the ticket. My intention is to contest elections, but we do not know right now. Hopefully, through the work I do, I will earn the ticket. So that is one. Because right now, I think no political party is considering giving, tickets or something. It will only happen end of this, closer to the election. So but I do believe, I think for many years I've been looking at politicians. I think politicians have a way of doing things. They go to people and then they talk about their ideology, or they will ask for votes, or that they are always pushing their agenda to the people. I believe no not politicians are not listening to people. I think that is what I realized when I started this journey, that I do want to do a different kind of politics. I do want to do alternative politics, which is to listen to people. That is why I felt it is important for me to go to the people, listen to their issues, and not just talk about my party or myself or anything. Just to listen to them and understand what their issues are. Can we come up with a collective solution? Is what I'm thinking through this 100-day yatra.
What kind of challenges that you faced in these journey, ma'am?
When I grew up in a village, but what I've been realizing is that while going to these villages, I'm like, okay, there are different kinds of villages. Even in the village, like in whatever in your mind is not the actual village, because there are more villages which are as backward. And I cannot believe the kind of challenges people face. People don't have jobs. They don't have proper drinking water. They don't have proper roads, and it's impossible for you. Like for me, the thought process is that how can somebody dream living in a village like this when they don't have access to proper drinking, don't have roads, and don't have proper jobs. So I think that has been very difficult to hear, and I see lot of older people living alone in these villages, and they don't have enough support system. And I'm actually like, many of those stories made me really feel heartbroken. Uh, and how do we actually lift all of us is the question I have.
Okay, ma'am. In generally, women are more prioritized to home-based works or like entertainment
Yeah.
and these kind of works. But in these circumstances, even in this generation, 2025 Gen Z generation, like how do you plan to bring youth and women into this mainstream of politics?
I think generally there is a perception that women and youth are not engaged in politics, and I believe that they are not engaged because they don't have the platform to engage in politics. Because if you take like my father, like they can go to tea shop, drink tea, and talk about politics. But for women, it's always like household work, like to make sure whether there is food, whether there is education, health for the children, and for young people, it's just like a college or school or something like that. So I think they don't have platforms. So for us, I think through my listening tour and through the platform we have, we really want to engage young people, bring them into discussion and saying, what do you actually need? How do we actually solve the problems together? I think bringing those platforms, bringing those dialogues to young people and women are something I'm very excited to do in the next few months.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, we got to know that you have been worked with World Bank also and even other global organizations. So, how will that experience influence your policy priorities in Tamil Nadu?
Thank you for the question, because through my 2 years in World Bank, I worked on a project called Tamil Nadu Women Employment and Safety Project. And so I worked on it 2 years and really understood what are the barriers women face to get to a workplace. Right now, you're asking about how do we engage in politics. But for me, the basic question is how do you actually get them out of their home? Because if you don't have safety, if you don't have childcare, if you don't have, transport facilities for women, then it is difficult for them to even think about working outside. So I think one of the priorities I have, at least for my political journey, is to make sure safety for women, not just not just in their public places, but also in their homes. How do we make sure women are safe so that they can do the work they deserve to do?
Okay, ma'am. You said safety comes first. According to that, what are your top 3 priorities for Tirunelveli?
Mhm.
Means education or employment
Mhm.
or an environment? What could be yours, ma'am? Your preference for that?
Yeah. So through my 100-day journey, it's evolving every day. one of the things I realized is that I've always thought we have a Tamarabarani perennial river, so water problems may not be much. But when I visit these villages, I think water problems are huge in Tirunelveli, in many of the villages. So environment, making sure that restoration of Tamarabarani happens. So that's definitely number one. And also making sure women and children are safe in Tirunelveli. I think there is a lot of domestic violence that happens. Women's safety, I think Tirunelveli ranks lesser in terms of women's safety. And I also want to prioritize child safety. And as you're rightly mentioning, jobs are a big problem here. Women really need industries to go, and also young people need jobs. I think those are my three top priorities.
Okay, ma'am, as you mentioned, like many of us were more concentrated on jobs, government jobs, or else a digital kind of media. But no one is thinking about to start a self business, even though it is a small or
Yeah.
big. They are not thinking about to start a business and to entrepreneur that. So, what would be like? How do you plan to strengthen the rural economy and support small entrepreneurs?
You're absolutely right. I think when we are growing up, we only think there is only one option, which is government jobs. But I think we need to expose our young people to multiple opportunities, which is actually to do with industries. Can we bring more industries? Can we bring more, capital into the rural economy so that more and more small scale industries can form? And also big industries, and also I think other kinds of services industry. There are many industries we could sectors we could focus on. And also, like, we are high on agriculture also. Can we do food processing? There are multiple things we could do, and I think livelihood will definitely be one of my focus areas. And when I say livelihood, it's morely to do with entrepreneurship.
Okay, ma'am. In this long journey, however, you have entered a TVK party. So, after entering into TVK party, so what kind of education reforms do you think Tamil Nadu needs for equitable growth, ma'am?
I think not. I really feel the Indian education system is kind of like a rote learning system. It's not something new. I think we really need to inspire our children, because today's economy and today's world is much more different. You need creativity, collaboration, teamwork, leadership. All of those skills are much more important than reading something from a book or memorizing. So I believe because I've exposed myself to a Howard education or a Young India Fellowship, and where thinking, and questioning has become the bigger focus. I would like the schools in Tirunelveli to inspire young people to create more. As you're saying, entrepreneurship at a young age, art in a young age, theater, those kind of things is something I would really change. It is not a structural reform we could bring, but at least we can focus on small pockets like Tirunelveli, where we can get young people and expose them to these kind of life skills.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, if you want to give a suggestion, like what is your message to young women aspiring to enter politics or a leadership roles?
The easy answer is there will be difficulties. I think anyone who really want to come out, who really want to do things, it is a difficult journey. And I think it is important for all of us to come, because then you make it easier for other people. I think the advice is just keep on this journey, so that the girls who come after us will have an easier life than all of us. And that is why I really pursue my career so much, because I really feel that I can open doors for as many young people as possible, as many young girls as possible, and we are responsible for it because somebody has opened the door for us.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, as I said before, you are the founder of Bodhi Tree Foundation, along with that Pen Collective for Women Leaders. So now you are entering into Tamil Nadu TVK party. So how you are managing both?
I have been I've formally stepped down from these institutions because it's not right to be part of this institution. But all of the causes that I'm involved in, be it Bodhi Tree, which is inspiring young, first generation college graduates for career opportunities, or be it Pen Collective, which is encouraging more women to get into politics, helping them to contest elections, and having discussions around gender. All of those things, I think I'm really passionate about, and I will be part of it in much more informal ways, and because those are my passion as well.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what kind of Tamil Nadu do you dream of building in next coming 10 years?
I think today in Tamil Nadu legislature, we have 5% representation. of women out of 234. It's only 12 women. I think the numbers are not different in other states as well. I think my dream is to have 50% representation in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly and also 50% leadership for women in politics. If you have 50% of population, then it is only morally right to have 50% people sitting there making decisions about themselves. So I think that is my dream, and that is a dream I dream of building. I think as I go to these villages, I'm also thinking more in terms of can we make sure at least the basics are set? Can we make sure somebody has a job, they have a food to eat, and place to live, they can travel? Some basics. I think every single person should have basic opportunities so that they can make something out of their life. That is also a dream I hold.
Ma'am, what legacy do you wish to create as a political leader and a social reformer?
I wouldn't call myself as a social reformer, but definitely I really feel that I have received so much in my life. As I said, I come from a BT ruling family. Nobody would have thought that I can go to Harvard or I can create two institutions or I can enter politics. So I have been helped and supported by so many people, and I think the legacy for me is to support as many people as possible, as many young girls as possible in my life, so that they can have a better life and they have less hurdles and less burdens than me. So I think that is something I really believe that I want to do with my life.
Okay, ma'am. We have spoken about your journey, your hardships, the journey from rural development area to Harvard University, and even now you're joined in TVK party. So, ma'am, after this, just I generally want to ask a question, because even after 2 years also, like if a woman or a man, whoever changes or comes to another city, they'll change their dress style, they change their hairstyle, they want to be like according to those situations, those circumstances and those society. But your as it is same, ma'am. Even I heard in TED Women Orator, in that also you mentioned like someone called you coconut girl because you kept you coconut oil on your hair. But even today also you are the same, ma'am. In on that day you are the same, and today also you are the same. But why you didn't thought to change yourself or to look yourself modern according to these situations? Because at that time you might be like a village girl, or surroundings neighbors would be say something, or relatives would be say something, but now you can do anything as you want, but you are same as it is, ma'am. May I know the reason?
I don't think there is a specific reason to it, and I think, of course, I think I do wear modern clothes. I think one of the shock I gave my parents is that I wore jeans at home one day, and my parents were absolutely shocked. But they are very fine with it. But I think it's just what you're comfortable. I think women are allowed. I think for me the bigger thing is that you should be comfortable whatever you are wearing. Like if I wear something else and I feel much more comfortable, then I would wear it. And I think there is nothing specific I do. This is what I feel comfortable with.
Anyways, ma'am, thank you for answering these funny questions at the last. But once again, I really thank you, ma'am.